So this time we sort of stuck somewhere, and we actually draw a chart, but it's not that clear. What's the order of the preference? So let's try it again here. So we have A is equal to 512. And B 15.8. C 10.10. And D 13.12. And we have E 5.9. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is to compare, and here we know that A is equal to B in terms of preference. So this person has no difference between bundle A and bundle B, okay? And then we're going to compare A and E. So A is here, right? E is here. This one is simple because they have the same amount of X, okay? The same amount of X. And A has 12Y and E has only 9Y. So we know that this is preferred to E, okay? A and B is better than E, okay? And the second one is C and D, okay? C and D. This one is also simple, right? Because C is 10.10 and D is 13.12. So D is better than C, okay? And now we get to the difficult part, B and E. Okay, B and E, well, because here you have 15, right? And here you have A and 9. So who is better? No idea. But what do we know? We know A and B is the same. And if A is better than E, of course B is better than E. So we already found it here, okay? And then the second one, C and D. E and B, C and B, okay, C and B. C and B. So we sort of get stuck here. Because here it has 15, here it has A, right? And here is 10, so 15 more than 10, that's fine. A is less than 10, that's the trouble, right? So because one more, one less, you have no idea. But then, let us try here again. We have A here, right? So this is a clue. What's the clue? Actually, C is the midpoint of A and B, right? So here is 5, 15, right? So the midpoint would be 10. Here is 12, here's A, right? So the midpoint is also 10. Okay, remember that last time we talked about a rule called golden mean, right? Remember that? Golden mean. Golden mean tell you that combination is better than two extreme. So this one is at the midpoint, right? And this is at one extreme, and that's at the other extreme. So this one is actually better than A and B. So C, okay, so then because D is better than C, and C is better than B, of course it's better than A. So D better than C. Okay, so that's the answer to this exercise. Okay, so now get to question 2. Okay, get to question 2. Question 2 said you have a person owns 200 units of X, 100 units of Y. So you want to write down the budget constraint. So without any kind of information on price or quantity, we have Px times X, plus Py times Y is equal to income, okay? And so you have 200 units of X, and price of X is 2, okay? 200 unit, and that is 200 unit, and Py is equal to the price of 4, and she has 100 units. So How much is that be? Will that be? That would be $800. So that means px times x plus py times y is equal to 800. So because this is her wealth, okay, that's what she has. And in between, she can choose whatever number of x, whatever number of y, or x or y. Suppose she sells all of them, and then she can choose whatever units she likes. So that's her budget line, okay? And I think that's it. Please draw your diagram on your own, okay? So we don't deal with that here. So this is the budget constraint, and you can easily draw a line. But you know, if you want to draw a line, you want to be careful, because here would be, 2x plus 4y is equal to 800. So make sure that you get the slope correctly, okay? Question. Let's get to question 3. Question 3 is very special, okay? You know, generally when we draw budget line, okay, this is going to be the budget line we draw, right? Budget line is a straight line because it's always like that. No. And then for indifference curve, generally this is how we get it, right? This will be indifference curve based on the utility function we have. But this one is different, okay? Why this one is different? This one shows us what? Diminishing marginal utility. So as you consume x more, the marginal utility of x goes down. When you consume y more, the marginal utility of y goes down. But let us look at this. Okay, so you have u x y is equal to x plus y, okay? And you know that the slope of the utility function is MRS, marginal rate of substitution. What is MRS? MRS is equal to MUY MUX. So that's MUX over MUY. Okay. 谢新佑, can you tell me what is MUX? In this case, what's MUX? MUX is MUX is du dx. So what is that? Can you tell me what's here? Here, utility function, right? X plus y. And this function to be differentiated with respect to x. To be more precise, actually, what should I do? Because we have x and y, so we use partial, okay? So it is partial u, partial x. Because at this time, we have two variables. One is x, one is y, right? Okay, so what is here? If you differentiate this with respect to x, what do you get? Zhang Bo-chao, what do you get? No idea? Qiu Guanmin, what do you get? It has x here, right? Excuse me? Liu Yinxiang, 1 is equal to 1. Because this is x, right? So differentiate with respect to x, you get 1. And this one is y, so you get nothing. And then MUY, partial u, partial y, right? What do you get? the same thing, 1. So what does that mean? You know, usually we draw indifference curve to look like this. So it shows diminishing marginal utility, okay? But what about this? It is constant. This one is always equal to 1. And this one is the same thing. So MUX equal to 1, MUY equal to 1. So when you want to draw a picture like this, it will be actually, anyway, let us say something like this here. Okay, so this is indifference curve. Okay? And so in the textbook, it mentions something about this. So if it is so special, the example will be blue pen and black pen, right? I told you before. Blue pen, black pen. Suppose you don't have any preference to blue pen or black pen. What happens? If black pen is more expensive, do you get blue pen? If black pen is more expensive, you get blue pen, right? And if blue pen is more expensive, you don't get blue pen, you get black pen. Get it? So this is what we call corner solution, because then the solution will be either here or here. So all black pen or blue pen, okay? Suppose the price is different, but if the price is the same, you don't have any preference. So you can get any amount of blue pen or black pen or combination of blue pen and black pen, okay? Questions? So this one is a little bit special here. So now let us go on. So it says the price of X is 4 and the price of Y is 2. Okay, so you have the budget constraint Px times X plus Py times Y is equal to 12, because this is his income. And so here we have Px is equal to 4 and Py is equal to 2, and it is 12, right? Okay. 谢信佑, in this case, what would you do? You are a consumer, okay? This is your utility function. So basically, X and Y has no any meaningful difference to you. And this is the price of X, this is the price of Y. So tell me, what will be your decision? What would you buy? Excuse me?
Y.
You're going to buy Y, right? Will you buy X? No, because it's much more expensive. In your opinion, XY is the same, right? So supposedly, it is $2, it is fine. But it is $4, so you forget about it. Okay? So you will get only Y. Okay? Questions? So this is what's in the book tell us that, you know, this is called corner solution. And if the question, if the indifference curve looks like this, okay? So this one is called corner solution. And this kind of solution is called interior solution. Interior solution. Okay? Okay, let's move on. We're going to cover chapter 4. Okay, questions? If you haven't handed your homework, please do so at the earliest convenience. Okay, let's check the textbook, chapter 4. Okay, income effect and substitution effect. We showed this to you last week. Okay, so you want to do some homework. Okay, do some exercise on your own. So let us try this again. So this is the original budget line, right? Okay, this is the original budget line. And so you want to figure out what's the first one is substitution effect, right? And we say, if you want to figure out substitution effect, income has to be the same. And by income to be the same, we mean two things. The first one is you can purchase the previous consumption bundles. The second one is Hicks. Okay, he said remaining on the same indifference curve. Okay, so this one, okay, remaining on the same indifference curve. So here you have A, you have C, right? Okay, and you have to have a new budget line parallel to the new budget line. Okay, so here you get from A to C, that is the substitution effect. And this one is no more good. Okay, it's no more good. So when income goes up, you buy more. Okay, income goes up, you buy more. So this is the income effect. And supposedly, okay, because of this, you have two prices, right? One price here, one price here. So we get two quantities. So you can get what? You can get demand curve. So as we say, when we talk about consumer behavior, we want to derive the demand curve. And when we talk about producer behavior, we will derive the supply curve. So here it is. Okay. Okay, so total effect, we call price effect. Okay, total effect is price effect. Price effect has two parts. The first one, income effect, and the second one, substitution effect. Substitution effect is always negative. Okay, substitution effect is always negative because what? Price goes up, you buy less. Price goes down, you buy more. Okay, for income effect, it depends on what kind of goods it is. It could be normal goods, then it will be positive. It could be inferior good, then it's negative. And if it is given good, remember that? What's so special about given good? Can anyone tell me that example here? Huang Xiuhui, anything special about given good? What is the slope of the demand curve for a given good? Exactly, positive, right? Positive. Why? Because the income effect is greater than the substitution effect. Okay? So let me repeat this again. We need to figure out what's the price effect. Okay? Price effect has two parts. Substitution effect and income effect. Substitution effect for all goods, it is always negative because price goes up, you buy less. Price goes down, you buy more. But the distinction here is on the income effect. For normal goods, the income effect is positive. For inferior good, it is negative. For given goods, the income effect is greater than the substitution effect, so much that the demand curve becomes positive slope. Okay? Okay, so this is the chart we have. Okay, so substitution effect, income effect, and this one. Okay, so this one, okay, for, let me see, this is called A. Okay, for this chart A, the income effect is negative. Okay, the income effect is negative, but the substitution effect is still greater than the income effect. So the demand curve is still negatively sloped. Okay, the demand curve, the slope of the demand curve is still negative. And this one, we mentioned this before, right? So I have told you, for a demand curve, if it is a vertical, so means it is perfectly inelastic. Okay, perfectly inelastic. Then it has to be a inferior good. Inferior because, and the substitution effect and the income effect cancel out each other. Okay, the substitution effect and the income effect cancel out each other. And I have told you that there's a textbook in Taiwan. It says that for such a kind of demand curve, the marginal utility is infinite. Okay, the marginal utility is infinite. But to a certain extent, we can also say that unfortunately, if you have some goods that in your mind, okay, is perfectly inelastic, it is inferior. Okay, so you see that for part A here, marginal utility is still diminishing. And here, the marginal utility is infinite. And here, I really have no idea how to interpret it. But you see that the income effect, okay, the income effect is much greater than the substitution effect. And this one becomes given good, okay, becomes given good. And the slope is positive, okay, the slope is positive. Okay, let's move on. We forget about this part because, you know, the author really want to clarify something for you, but in my opinion, it is much more confusing, and so let's forget about it. Okay. Here, it talk about cross price effects. Okay, cross price effects. Generally, if you have one good, now price goes up or down, and the other good, what will happen to it? That is basically what we know. But here we talk about substitute and complement. Okay, substitute and complement. That will be different. Okay, so if some good, the price goes up. Okay, for some good, the price goes up. The other good, if it is substitute, right? What would you do? You will definitely consume more and much more, right? Because A and B, okay, these two goods, they are substitute. So when price of A goes up, okay, the quantity demanded for good A will go down. And then you will use substitute. So in this case, you will consume much more of B, okay? And complement, that is different, right? So if two goods are complement, and the price goes up for A, and because it's a complement, B is a complement for A, then because in this case, you will consume less A, you will also consume less B, okay? So if you look at the chart and follow the textbook, you will get all the effect here. But you know, we don't want to get to too much detail. Okay, so please get some spare time, do some exercise, read a book, and draw a picture for yourself to see what's going on here. Okay. So here about tax deduction versus subsidized vacation. Okay. So if you have tax deduction, let me put it this way. Before 1980s, okay, before 1980s, if you purchase a car and you have to pay interest for it, the interest payment is deductible from your income. Okay, let me repeat this again. So if you buy a car, okay, and you get a loan to buy a car, of course, if you get a loan to buy a car, there's interest payment, right? So you have to pay the interest payment. And this is a cost to you. Okay, this is a cost to you. But suppose the government say, if you buy a car and get a loan for it, the interest payment is tax deductible. Okay? Sen子帅, what's tax deductible? No idea. 李玉祥 Deductible, deduction. Deduction means cut something from you. Yes, exactly. So because of that, if you get some subsidy, for example, in this case, you talk about holiday. So if you get a, you know, today, this morning, we have a national travel voucher, right? You got it? What's the national travel voucher I'm referring to? Su Xiaojie. Voucher. What is voucher? Voucher is something like gift certificate. Gift certificate? Gift certificate. What is a gift? Su Xiaojie. Gift. 邱冠敏 gift. Yes. Certificate. Certificate is something like a voucher. That is a piece of paper, right? And if you get this piece of paper, then you can get deduction. So what's that? You know, this morning the government draw lots. Okay, some people add your ID number, right? Your ID number, and if it is, say, you know, 110, 12, whatever, and then you can get a voucher, and if you show it at the store, say, I have this voucher, $888, so you can take that off. Okay, so basically, gift certificate or voucher is something like, you know, to give you extra purchasing power. Okay, give you extra purchasing power. That means you don't have to pay that much, and that part is actually paid off by the government. Okay, you get it? Okay. And if you get subsidy, what happens? Of course, you're gonna travel more, right? So you consume more of that. So again, please, you know, read a textbook and draw a picture yourself and do some exercise. That will help you understand more about this. Okay. Okay, market demand. It is kind of strange, but you should have talked about this in chapter 2 or chapter 3. Okay, but it discussed the market demand curve here. So we talked about it before. How to get a market demand. So suppose you have buyer 1, 2, 3. You have 3 persons. And so basically, if there's one person, the market demand curve will be at price 2, you have A units purchased, A units demanded, and $4 is 6 units demanded, and $6, 4 units demanded, and $8, 2 units demanded. So this person, okay, from this chart here, so let me. Okay, so you check here, this will be the demand curve. But when you have 2 persons, 3 persons, what's going to happen? You have to add them all up. So we call add them all up horizontally. Okay, add them all up horizontally. So at price 2, now the quantity demanded is 8, 11, 12, and so the total quantity demanded for the market will be 31. And the same thing for this, okay? And this is what you get. And so as you know, 3 persons have 3, and have their own different demand. Person A probably has more incomes, right? So at higher price, he's still willing to pay. Okay, so at 6 units, at $6, person 1 purchased 4 units, and person 2 purchased 3 units. But the willingness to pay for person 3 is a little bit less. So he will pay for 0 here. So you will not buy anything. So the total quantity demanded will be 7. Okay? And so if you draw a picture anew, so that's what it is. Okay, so this would be person 1, person 2, and person 3. But for the market demand, you have to add them all up. So that's the market demand curve. Okay. This one you talk about estimate. How to estimate market demand function. So, of course, you go to the market. Okay, you go to the market and to see what's the people's behavior, right? At certain price, how much they buy. At some other different prices, how much they buy. And you use econometrics. Okay, here econometrics. And basically, we're gonna forget about this part. Let me give you one example here. Please sound the light. Okay. Let us say we have a demand function that is Q is equal to negative P plus 10. See how it works. Okay, suppose